Huzaifah says, since we are shifting to optimizing for LLMs, and one way to do that is syndicating content, should we also do that for lead gen assets since they don't have real physical locations? Or how can we optimize lead gen assets for LLMs? Same thing. It's no different. Huzaifah, you publish branded content, preferably on external branded blogs, not the same domain. Because if you publish a whole lot of content on the same domain, you're going to run into the same issue that I just described a moment ago, which is competing pages. Okay, don't do that. Build. Now, I talk about for lead gen assets, I typically say do not go out and build supporting branded assets for the lead gen asset until you get it monetized. And the reason I say that is because you end up spending money on building all these additional assets and everything in order to, but in some cases, you'll never end up monetizing the site. And so I usually tell people, through experience, I've learned this, guys. I can't tell you how many projects I've dumped money into that I never ended up monetizing. So I tell people, like, don't do that. Instead, look for low competition areas so that the organic asset, the self-hosted site, will typically start to rank for several, maybe not all the queries and all the locations that are being targeted, but at least partially. If you can get, a fair number of keywords to rank in various for products and services in locations specific to an area, that's all that you need to use that as a sales tool, to be able to point to that, to show that you are already getting results in that area for the same products and services that the prospect that you're talking to provides. You see what I'm saying? So the organic only assets are supposed to be used as a sales tool. You can monetize them if you want directly by renting them out, doing pay per lead, whatever. But I use them as an indirect monetization sales tool, right? Because I point to them when I'm pitching my services and say, I've already outranking you for some of your products and services in some of the areas that you're targeting. And it's a brand new site that we've really done very little to. We were able to do this in, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. We can do this for you as well. And by the way, if you sign up with us, you decide to use our services, we will assign this site and any leads that come from this site to you and to you only, right? And so then that's when I would take a portion of the client's budget and start to build branded assets for that lead gen site, that I own and control, because now instead of me coming out of pocket to build assets for it, I'm using the client portion of the client's budget to then build those assets. That's why I talk about this, guys, is because, this is how you can remember, there's nothing unethical about using some of the client's budget to improve the lead gen asset that you have assigned to them exclusively while they're your client. If it's going to continue to benefit them, there's nothing unethical about that, right? It's like we're actually getting two brands out there for the price of one, because they're piggybacking off of my branded assets to improve the number of leads that they secure on a monthly basis or whatever. Hopefully that's clear. So, but if you are talking about publishing, how can you get your lead gen assets to also possibly your lead gen brand be recommended by LLMs when people are using them for chat or search? Well, it would be the same process. It's not going to be any different. You still need to have branded content that is always, and a lot of it, that's published across multiple platforms in multiple media formats: audio, video, text, infographics, all of that kind of stuff, because we don't know which language models are ingesting content from where. And so it's best to just, like, carpet bomb or spray and pray basically content, but you have to do it in a way that's not going to compete with the main website, which is why I said you don't want to publish that content on the main site. So for lead gen assets, even though, like I said, I typically am not going to start building branded assets until I have it monetized, I would do the same thing. As I wouldn't want to go out and build branded assets for a lead gen site and then start publishing a ton of content and syndicating or republishing and distributing that content out across various other branded blogs, etc. If I don't have it monetized, because that's a ton of work. So stick to the plan, Huzaifah. All of that was to get back to what I was saying, which was stick to the plan. If you're going to build local lead gen assets to use as a sales tool, which is what I recommend, then keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it to just the self-hosted site, those that are going to rank fairly well, or at least some of the queries. Then you can use that to then sell your services to a company in that same area that provides the same products and services. And then once you secure that client, you can start taking a portion of that budget, small percentage of it, to then invest in building branded assets and content content production and distribution for your LLG brands, because it's going to benefit the client as long as they're on retainer. The moment that they quit, though, then like you get recontrol, you get to control or get control back, I should say, of the LLG asset. You're going to maintain control the whole time, but you take it back, and now that's available to remonetize with one of their other competitors, right? Another company in the same area. And then you start using some of their budget to continue further developing your assets. You see what I'm saying? So, and you maintain the benefit from the previous client's budget even long after they're gone, right? So nothing changes. It's just how and when you do it that changes. Hopefully that's clear.